Check for sound. Check for power.
All systems online.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 40 of the Loper Show. We made it, man. It's a milestone. And it is also the day that we're recording. This is Monday, September 22nd, the first day of fall, believe it or not. Yeah, my son and I, we went to the pool this weekend. And I told him, I said, we're literally enjoying the final few days of summer. And when that kind of sunk in, as I was saying it, it didn't really compute until I actually said it out loud. And I was like, oh, wow, summer's over, man. I will say, looking back on the summer, I had a killer summer, lots of cool concerts, lots of fun, memorable moments. And, I hope the same for you guys as you look back on your summer. So one thing that was huge over the summer was Back to the Beginning, the tribute to Ozzy Osbourne, the farewell to Black Sabbath. And this spawned so many things that I think were memorable, but one that was probably the most memorable on top of everyone's head, and that was the introduction of Yungblud to the world. Now, Yungblud is an artist who, before Back to the Beginning, mostly made harder edge pop music, and now with transitioning into the world of rock, he has dropped an EP with none other than Aerosmith. Now, it's interesting. It's Aerosmith in name only. It's technically just recording on the track was Steven Tyler and, of course, guitarist Joe Perry from Aerosmith. The other members of Aerosmith are not present on this record whatsoever, but it's a pretty interesting EP, and they dropped the first single called My Only Angel, and I'm going to put it in the description below, so if you guys want to click on that and check out the song. I mean, it's a really cool pop rock song. Now, will it be played on mainstream rock radio stations and satellite rock stations? I don't know. I don't know if it's that kind of rock record, but the combo of Aerosmith and Yungblud on this EP, call it what you want, it's pretty damn rad. And the first single, like I said, My Only Angel, is out right now. And the rest, so that came out back on the 19th, but the rest of the EP can be pre-ordered and will drop November 21st. Now, in reality, it's 4 songs and 3 new original songs. And Yungblud is on every song, and a reimagining of the song Back in the Saddle from Aerosmith back in 1976, which, classic. And like everything else that we've seen Yungblud do as of late, I mean, he absolutely nailed it on this track. With the first one I was talking about, My Only Angel, there's definitely, without the video, there's moments where you're like, is that Steven Tyler or is that Yungblud? And the video gave some clarification to that. There's some obvious moments when you can hear Steven Tyler's classic voice, that raspy sound that he has. But the most amazing thing to me is how we were talking earlier in the year that Steven Tyler, let alone, might not ever tour again, but might not ever sing again on a mainstream record. And now we've gotten not only the incredible Back to the Beginning performance, but we also had that performance from the MTV VMAs that we spoke about on the last episode. And it feels like Steven Tyler's back. Like the old Tyler is literally back in the saddle. And it's kind of cool to see somebody like Yungblud give new juice and new blood, if you will, to Steven Tyler. And at the same time, Steven Tyler and Joe Perry handing the torch off to Yungblud. Here's what's going to be interesting. As I mentioned Youngblood's style just a few minutes ago, it's going to be interesting to see if the new music that he records is going to be more on the rock angle. And I think that would best serve him, because I got lots of friends that are not only like radio people, but record people as well. And there's a huge buzz around Yungblud, obviously, after the VMAs and Back to the Beginning. And now with this Aerosmith EP that he's recorded on with, I think that he needs to find his own Joe Perry, like his own badass guitar player, and team with somebody like that, and then drop a real to life rock record. I mean, the rock genre could definitely afford to have somebody as rock star status as Yungblud. I mean, the kid's got all the angles when you think about it. And the interesting thing to see is what he's going to do going forward. I mean, I'm really excited to see like what his new music is going to sound like. If it's going to be more rock influenced, is it going to be traditionally more like what he's doing with the pop thing? I don't know how well that will serve him, but we'll see what happens going forward. Like I said, that record will drop the EP on November 21st. Now, speaking of collabs, established artists and new artists, Bon Jovi. We talked about this in the last couple of episodes, how Bon Jovi is going to reimagine his Forever record. And the first single is out with Jelly Roll. And it's good, guys. This, too, is not, what I would call rock, but the beginning of it's called Living Proof. That's the song that Jelly's on. And like I said, all of these are the same songs from the album that dropped last year, Forever, but it's reimagined with guest stars on each track. And this one, Living Proof with Jelly Roll, starts out with that classic wow, wow, Bon Jovi guitar. Richie Sambora is not in the band anymore, which is interesting that they use that sound. But, it's that when you hear that sound, it's Bon Jovi. And Bon Jovi comes on and listen, just like Steven Tyler, like we just talked about, Bon Jovi's had all kinds of voice issues. John, for one, no one ever thought he would be back with a new record. And he's back. He sounds great. Sounds like the old Bon Jovi again. But in particular, Jelly Roll absolutely kills on this track. And, from going from being a rapper, a country rapper, into spreading his wings and beginning to sing a few years ago, the dude has an incredible voice at this point. I mean, my man has been in the studio, rocking it, been on the road with Post Malone for the last year. And right now they're doing Europe, Posty and Jelly Roll. If you're going to be over there, I would catch one of those stadium shows. But he sounds incredible on this track. Living Proof, Bon Jovi with Jelly Roll, out right now. Also, I'll put that one in the description below so you guys can check it out and leave it in the comments what you guys think. Give me a little review on it.
Hear that? That's not just any siren. It's the sound of Wing Wednesday at Shaker's Public House. Every Wednesday, when the siren hits, the dollar wings drop. All day, no limits, just flavor. And don't miss Power Hour every single day from 5 to 6 p.m. Drafts, domestic beers, well liquor, and wine, just $1. When the siren sounds, you know where to go. Shaker's Public House, where happy hour hits hard and the wings hit harder.
So one of the major events that went down over the weekend was Louder Than Life in Louisville, Kentucky. Yes, a Danny Wimmer Presents show. And I was hoping to get down, but I did not. But I saw plenty of coverage over the weekend. And there was none other than the band that I think is probably one of the biggest rock bands in the world right now, and that is Sleep Token. This band did not disappoint. They went from the Download Festival where they headlined, which was kind of unprecedented. I mean, last year at this time, we were talking about Sleep Token, but not talking about Sleep Token like we are now. I mean, these guys, absolutely killers, part of just like a murderer's row of new bands that are out there just killing it. But I haven't seen anybody go from on a festival to headlining a festival like Sleep Token. So they headlined on Friday night. Of course, this starts on Thursday. It goes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a 4-day festival in Louisville. And it was kind of cool to see. There were tons of fans out there dressed up like the band, like the lead singer Vessel. He has such a cool look, man, and all kinds of fans were out there doubled as him. Not just wearing T-shirts, not just supporting the band. There was plenty of that, but there were actual look-alike Vessels all over the stadium, and that was something to see, man. If you haven't seen any of that coverage, I definitely encourage you to go check that out. One of the best rock bands on the planet, Stone Temple Pilots, of course, been through a suit of singers since Scott Weiland passed, but this was not their first time playing Louder Than Life. They appeared back in 2014 before the death of Linkin Park singer Chester Bennington. If you remember, Chester Bennington was in Stone Temple Pilots just before he passed. And I mean, he was really good as the lead singer. And I don't know if you've heard this or not, but Chester Bennington's favorite band was Stone Temple Pilots. Even before he was the singer of Linkin Park, his favorite band was STP. So when he got a chance to be the lead singer of STP, I mean, he was super stoked. And you could really see it in his performance if you Google any of the performances from Louder Than Life back in 2014. I mean, Chester Bennington absolutely killed it. But this was with their new singer over the weekend, Jeff Gutt. They played, of course, Wicked Garden, Creep, Plush, Vaseline. And they actually closed the show with Tripping in a Hole in a Paper Heart, with Josh Freese, who just left the Foo Fighters and went back to Nine Inch Nails. He came out and did a drum duo with their drummer, and it was sick. I mean, if you haven't seen it, there's videos of it all online. Some people, that actually took the videos, but super cool and really memorable performance from Stone Temple Pilots, and kind of neat to see them out there doing their thing. Another band that was really well received, Bad Omens, saw them back at Sonic Temple, and they were just as good at Louder Than Life, according to everybody that was there live. And they actually debuted 2 new songs from their latest record, 2 new singles, Spectre and Impose. I always love that. Like, if you're in the crowd and you actually get to be one of the people that are there to see brand new music played live, I mean, what a treat that would be from Bad Omens. And they're right there with Sleep Token. I mean, one of the hottest bands out there right now. Something that was really huge. So at Louder Than Life this year, literally, they announced one of the headliners for next year. And it's just not Louder Than Life. It's going to be for Sonic Temple and Welcome to Rockville. Both of those shows coming up in 2026 in May. Welcome to Rockville in Daytona, and of course, Sonic Temple in Columbus, Ohio. And it's none other than My Chemical Romance. Welcome to the Black Parade. They're going to be at Louder Than Life, Sonic, and Rockville all next year. They had a big rollout for this, and actually the Louisville marching band came out and played Welcome to the Black Parade at Louder Than Life, so that was pretty cool to see as well. Master Chief, yes, Master Chief, you heard me right, from the game Halo, came on stage with Breaking Benjamin. This is not the first time that Master Chief has appeared at Louder Than Life, but this was the latest, and he got on stage with Breaking Ben, and shout out to him and whoever was in the suit. Pretty funny stuff. The weather at Louder Than Life is always in question. Last year they lost, what was it, I think Friday and Saturday, if not Sunday too, if I'm not mistaken, to rain. I mean, there's torrential downpours in September, in late September in Louisville, and just always kind of wreaks havoc on the festival that's known as Louder Than Life. And this year, it started out on Thursday, absolutely beautiful, and I believe they had great weather Friday and Saturday, and then on Sunday they had a code red, where if you weren't already in the festival grounds, you had to go back to your car or hotel, but everyone that was there had to seek shelter inside of this building that they have right there on site at Louder Than Life. And it was kind of a mess for a few hours. They were able to weather the storm, so to speak, and get back into the action. But that the people that were there that also had that were holding tickets for last year, those people were so nervous that it was going to get canceled on the last day. But good news, it did not, and everybody got to check out the show and go home with good stories. Well, speaking of live shows, it looks like for 2026, another big tour that's going to happen is country music star Riley Green is going to be hitting the road with Cowboy As It Gets. That's the tour. That's the name of the tour, Cowboy As It Gets. And he's announced a huge list of dates that go everywhere from Louisville, Kentucky, Nashville, Cleveland. You got just north of Albany at Saratoga Springs, New York, which SPAC is an incredible amphitheater. If you ever make it up to the Saratoga Springs area, I lived up there for a couple of years doing radio, and man, you talk about a venue that is absolutely beautiful. That's one of them, man. It's very cool. It's actually in this wooded area in Saratoga Springs. That's I think it's a state park, not a national park, but it's a state park. And the entire amphitheater, all of the wood that's there is made out of the trees that are in that forest. So the sound is absolutely incredible. And if you're ever in that area to check it out, I mean, maybe it's Cowboy As It Gets, and you go check out Riley Green, who I played softball with last summer. Yeah, we played in the Folds of Honor tour, celebrity softball game in Nashville last year. I was familiar with Riley Green. I didn't know his music as well as I do now, but that dude is a beast. I mean, just a hoss of a dude, super cool guy, and just, I mean, pretty damn good athlete as well. He was on the opposing team that beat us, unfortunately. But that was also the celebrity softball game where I broke Chris Kirkpatrick's hand from NSYNC. Whoops. If you didn't hear that story, you should go check it out. Just Google Loper and Chris Kirkpatrick. I mean, he was standing on home plate, and I was coming home. TMZ said I Pete Rosed him. I mean, I don't know. You guys go watch the video and you see for yourselves. Another guy that was at Folds of Honor during the celebrity softball tournament last year in Nashville was one of my teammates, Bailey Zimmerman, and he's got a new record out. There's a song that's billed with a mystery girl on it, and the mystery girl has revealed herself as Mackenzie Carpenter. She actually revealed that on her TikTok page, and if you haven't heard the song, it's really good. It's definitely worth a listen. He said, Bailey Zimmerman, he commented on her TikTok and said, she ate on this song, which I thought was a hell of a comment. So check it out. It's called These Nights by Bailey Zimmerman, and we know the mystery girl, and it's Mackenzie Carpenter. So it looks like duets are all the craze right now, and not just rock music, but country music as well. Jason Aldean, who is working on his latest record, has announced that, he's going to have a ton of collabs coming up. He didn't let anyone in. He was talking to A Taste of Country, the publication, and he said, like, we've got some really cool guest appearances. I don't want to give anything away just yet because we haven't really let the cat out of the bag yet. But he said, I could tell you there's 3 to 4 for sure. So I don't know. I mean, how do you not predict Jelly Roll at this point? Jelly Roll's on everybody's songs. So maybe Post Malone. Those are a couple of my guesses. You can leave it in the comments section below who you think might be on the new Jason Aldean record. So last week I was talking about this feud between Zach Bryan and Gavin Adcock, where it all came to a head on September 13th in Oklahoma at the Born and Raised Festival in Pryor, Oklahoma. Now, Gavin and Adcock did an interview, and he was kind of giving some context to what exactly happened because, you know, outside of him saying, I got death threats from Sack Crying, which is hilarious. He said, like, what really set this off. Adcock exposed Zach Bryan, in his words, when a 14-year-old kid was denied a picture at a Zach Bryan show. And I guess Zach Bryan really went in on this kid on social media. He said, you're not entitled after somebody plays 2.5 hours to a picture or a hello. And then he added the GOMD. Get off my, Nice thing to say to a 14-year-old. So Adcock spoke out about that. Zach Bryan heard it, and that's what really caused the confrontation. I guess Zach Bryan was not scheduled to play at Born and Raised, but what happened was he came on as a special guest with another artist, right? And so the festival knew that he was going to be there. They gave Gavin Adcock a heads up about that. And early in the day, I guess Adcock was trying to do a cold plunge by his tour bus, and Zach Bryan showed up with 2 huge security guards on the other side of that fence where we saw him scale on last week's show. And then later in the day, that event unfolded where he showed back up in an F-150 pickup truck, pulled right up to the fence, and ended up jawing back and forth, and then that led to the infamous Zach Bryan climbing over the fence. But Sack Crying, I mean, that one got me, guys. So I got to give a little TV update for you guys, something that I've been watching on Netflix. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely go check it out. 2-part series on the one and only Charlie Sheen. Yes, winning. It's called AKA Charlie Sheen, and this is one of the best documentaries I've seen in a very long time. This was done by Charlie Sheen himself, where he's also putting out a book that's you can buy called Book of Sheen, and I'm so stoked to hear this. Like, if you get the audio version, it's actually Charlie Sheen reading it. I hate when people put out a book on tape and then it's not even them reading it. Like, what? No, come on, bro. And of course, Charlie Sheen with a classic voice and really transparent in this documentary. I've seen all of episode 1. I'm halfway through episode 2 right now, so I'll give you a full update next week. But I mean, if you got some extra time, this is really good. AKA Charlie Sheen. He's super upfront about like the breakdown, the whole Tiger Blood thing when he was, doing that podcast out of his house, and how when the fans didn't look down upon him, but rather encouraged him during that time, he said that was really the pat on the back that he did not need at the time. And it sort of led him down this path to make himself feel like invincible. He said literally he felt like he had tiger blood running through his veins, which hilarious. I guess a baseball player said that to him on a phone call, and it stuck inside his head. The guy was like, yeah, Charlie, guys like me and you, we have tiger blood running through our veins. We're a different kind of human being. And he was like, yeah, tiger blood. And he just ran with that, and that became his thing. And during that entire meltdown that we all witnessed in the early 2010s, which, looking back was just insane. He covers all of that and more, from his divorces to the early days, Platoon, everything in this doc, aka Charlie Sheen. I definitely would suggest you guys check that out. Yo, got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Shaker's Public House, one of my favorite places, if not my favorite, to eat the wings. Like, all my friends have checked it out at this point, and they're like, dude, you were totally right. The best wings. Check out Wing Wednesday. Also, the Power Hour each and every day, where you, at 5 until 6, you can get $1 wells, $1 drafts of like any of your choice that they have there, domestic drafts, and all of the wine that you can handle, all $1, 5 to 6, Power Hour, 7 days a week, only at Shaker's Public House in Worthington. Guys, thanks once again for tuning in. Episode 40, I mean, we made it. Episode 41, right around the corner. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. If you guys haven't yet, just do me a favor. Turn notifications on and click that like button on the video. And also subscribe to the channel, man. It helps with the algorithm, gets us way more views. And I couldn't do it without you guys, man. Thanks to everybody who listens to the audio version on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all major podcast platforms. Couldn't do it without you. And I'll see you next week right here on the show.